My name is Ben Lerer. I'm the co-founder of Thrillist Media Group, and we are a media company focused on helping guys figure out how they should spend their time and their money in smart and fun ways. My favorite thing about my job is working with my team. I mean, it's totally. My best moments are when I can tell my team is inspired and having fun and being productive, and it's really about the people I work with. Ooh, that's a good question. I think the most challenging part of my job is probably it's not actually, it has very little to do with the physical work and much more to do with sort of the emotional baggage of having started a company and caring an awful lot about the company and about the people I work with and about our customers, and just the stress of taking a lot of pride in what we do, and also really feeling the negative effects of when we don't do a good job. I think I'm always struggling with how to tackle these problems. Generally, the thing that I try to work on more and more recently is being present, is when getting overwhelmed and getting really stressed out, trying to take a sort of step outside of myself and just like get back into the moment, get back into what we're working on, and not take sort of the challenges down the rabbit hole of worst case scenario and sort of anxiety and stress, but really try to focus on the here and now and what I can do to make things better in the short term, and that typically at least calms me down for the immediate next few minutes.
Yeah. So looking back when you started your journey, when you started your company, where did you envisage this focus?
I started the company about 10 years ago, and so I think I was quite young and inexperienced. Not that I'm not very inexperienced still, but I was particularly inexperienced, and I think I did very little planning at that point. I was just happy to get to run my own company and start my own thing, and was sort of just excited not to be working for somebody, which I soon found out is actually never the case, because you're working for your investors and you're working for your employees and you're working for your own psychotic, ego or behaviors or whatever it is. But I think, at first I just wanted to, I actually think the right answer to the question is probably early on I was a lot more selfish in how I thought of, like, when I went to work and what I thought about long term. I was really focused on building something and making a lot of money, and not that I still don't want to be successful financially, but I'm much more interested in being happy now and making the people I work with happy now than I am with just having it be about building something big and feeling important. And I guess you just get that perspective after doing something for a long time. Where I see myself and the company a year from now, I actually think I have a much clearer vision of what I want the company to look like in at least the short term than I have in a very long time. Part of that is that we just raised a pretty large round of financing, and as much as I hate raising money and as distracting as it can be, I think what it forces you to do is actually take inventory, figure out what you're doing, really lock in a strategy that you can communicate clearly to investors and ultimately, communicate clearly internally and get buy-in. And so for me, the focus right now is all about the end user, all about creating fantastic content. It's a really simple goal to drive to. Obviously, it's really hard to create great content and create a great user experience, but that's it. Like, the focus is the company is going to be as good as the product that we create, and so let's create the best product possible. That's it. We're a media company focused specifically on giving recommendations, sort of service and utility around how guys should spend their time and their money to have fun in their life. And so we cover food and drink and travel, and we're starting to cover other areas of interest that we think we have the brand permission to sort of lend our voice and our taste to. Yeah, so I'm in Stream first and foremost because I was invited, which was a nice invitation where we do a bunch of business with a number of different groups within the WPP, and so we have a nice partnership with these guys, and we're happy to come and get to know them better. And a bunch of other sort of friends from the tech and media ecosystem in New York and in the US were coming, and so it's been a great opportunity to spend time with them outside of the office and outside of the grind of scheduling a 30-minute meeting where you can just sit down and have a drink and sort of get lost in a conversation. And I've had some really productive, fun conversations with people who I've known for 10 years, but who I haven't had an opportunity to sort of get into, to just so like really step out of the day-to-day and hang out with, and some very productive conversations already. First impression when I got here was that the hotel was actually slightly nicer than I had been warned. I'm very comfortable in my accommodations, and I think my first impression was actually just how casual it is, and how that is leading to more sort of open, fun conversations, and how I think the format really lends itself to meeting new people and less of the standard sort of conference, pitching and feeling like you're here with like a business agenda. I think I'll probably leave with some new friends, hopefully. I've already met some people who I'd never met or even heard of before, who I've had some fun with. And I hopefully will leave with just some new ideas. I mean, I think a lot of the conversations I've had have reinforced things that I've been thinking about, but talking to other publishers with how they're dealing with some of the challenges. 3 words to sum up Stream.
Doesn't have to be concise, just 3 individual words.
Smart, casual, fun.